Okay, hi guys and welcome to the show, and today I thought I'd take a look at my knife collection. This of course is only half of my collection. Much like my watches, I tend to keep some here in the United States and some back in my home in the UK. It just saves me from, having to drag everything back and forth, and when I'm traveling between my homes I can just travel light. But something that is tantamount importance, it's just unquestionably one of the essential accessories of any gentleman, and I mean in the traditional sense as well, is a pocket knife. Now my grandfather GHW, who's a huge inspiration, and he was a genuine gentleman, and I mean in the proper use of the word. He would always have a pocket knife, and he'd have different knives for different purposes, and I've kind of mirrored that tradition. I've continued on that tradition. Unfortunately I don't have any of his knives here, but I will cover them when I'm back in the UK. So for me, a pen knife or a knife is just as essential as a wristwatch. It's just one of those, it's just a tradition. For me, a man is supposed to have, a gentleman is supposed to have. You're supposed to have some kind of pocket knife, you're supposed to have a wristwatch or a pocket watch. And it's just something that I got into very, very young. I never forget when I got my first Victorinox when I was a little kid, back in Rome, when my mum bought me a tiny little thing now. I don't even know where it is, but just the simple standard Victorinox, the red, iconic red one. Ever since then, I've always had some kind of penknife. Anyway, so let's just have a look through my collection. Now we've talked about this first one before. This, of course, is the Leatherman style CS. Very small little blade. This is always part of my EDC. What I tend to do, I have this as a backup blade, and also it has the fantastic scissors, which are absolutely fantastic, tweezers, of course a bottle opener, sorry, a little nail file. This is really nifty little tool, always comes in useful. I always carry this. This is usually attached to my keys. I never leave home without it. So this is really well made, affordable, made in America. Leathermans are, I completely recommend them. I can't leave home without this. So it's a central part of my EDC. So that's the little style CS. I have done a full review of this, so check that out. Then of course we're moving into the French-made Opinel. This is the number, what is it? Number 6 in the size. So we got, this is number, which is this? This is number 10 and number 6, so there's quite a few between these two sizes. Again, I've done a video on these. Opinel are very, very special to me, because when I was living and traveling around France, I spent quite the time in the Loire Valley wine tasting and in the Champagne region, and I just, you could buy these in basically every little corner store and traffic stop and petrol station, and they're just very famous in France, and they're beautifully made. And I love the number 6. I think it's a fantastic size. It's a really nice size. 2.5 inch blade there, and of course the little twist lock there to keep it in, if you want the blade to keep in its extended position. And of course these iconic, I think it's beechwood, I can't remember, but check out the full review. This is the size 6. This for me is perfect everyday carry. It's not too big that it's offensive or gonna get you into trouble, but at the same time big enough to handle what you want to get out of a pocket knife. And it's just very traditional, very classy, affordable, made in France, iconic. I think the Opinel knives are up there in the top 100. I think in the top 100 most iconic designs of all time. They are right next door to Rolex, and I think between Rolex and Porsche. The Rolex, I think, is Submariner, and the Porsche 911. So it's a really iconic design. If you don't know about Opinel, I check them out. Very affordable. They make great gifts. So anyway, I have done another video on them as well. And then moving slightly further up. So these really, I tend to have these together. This is a really nice little everyday carry situation. Then moving up slightly, we have this big boy knife. This is the size 10, as you can see there, size 10, made in France. Really massive blade. I think this is must be just about 3.5 inches, beautifully crafted. And this one comes with the bottle opener on the back. This is actually what I call my picnic knife. I would never carry this. It's just far too offensive to carry, and it would get you into trouble. But if you pack it in a picnic kit and you're going out to the country or a nice park and it's with your food, then it's absolutely understandable and you're not going to get into trouble. Again, we have the lock on the blade here, which is really nice touch. So perfect for kind of cutting up cheeses, you know, if you're in a picnic situation. Also, when you do undo when you pull the cork out, it gives you something really solid to pull on. Very comfortable, actually very practical. So really fantastic knife. And these again are very affordable. You can actually pick them up on Amazon. Again, I've reviewed this, so check these out. So moving on. So here we have my EDCs, or EDC knives. This is a picnic knife, you know, if you want to go on a romantic date with your wife or your partner or whoever. This is something really nice to take with you. So moving on, this is the Victorinox, and I had to have a Victorinox in here. This is one of my favorite ones. This is the Victorinox one-handed trekker. This is ideal for camping. Now, of course, it looks pretty mint condition because ironically, the trip I bought this for, we were going to go camping upstate. It got cancelled and it never got to see any action. It's really unfortunate. I'm considering I might take this home actually to the UK because my house is in a more rural area, and I might actually use this out in the field hunting and stuff like that. So this is the Victorinox one-handed trekker. Now it's designed to work all in one hand, which it does very, very well. Of course, you have frame lock here, serrated blade, and as you can see, it's a really thick blade. It's designed for, you know, camping and really kind of robust use. You have a saw here, chopping up your firewood for the campfire. You've got a Phillips screwdriver in the back, various bottle openers, as you can see. And then of course a screwdriver on the end there. This bottle opener also has a little frame lock there. So another one here with a smaller screwdriver on the end. And you'll notice this has the German Eagle on it. This is not the Victorinox standard version, this is the German Army version. I believe they're slightly cheap. I'm not exactly sure why. They probably made them in large quantities for the troops. And I adore it. I love this little embossed German Eagle. It just adds a little bit of class and individuality to it. It's very beautifully done, as you can see. And signed Victorinox, Swiss made on the blade. A really robust, solid, this is so well made, solid, everything you expect from Victorinox. But at the same time, kind of something slightly different. It's not in the famous red. It's got this beautiful kind of olive, kind of olivey green, military green. This is actually standard issue for, I think, in the German Army now. So really cool bit of kit, and very affordable too. So this is really my camping outdoors kind of rough stuff knife. Ironically, it hasn't actually seen any action yet. Maybe this year we'll actually finally get to take this camping trip we were gonna do last year. But anyway, but again, it serves its purpose, and it is very kind of valued in the collection, and I might take this one to the UK so it actually gets some use, because there's nothing sadder than seeing these things not getting used. Alright, moving on. Now, a lot of you knife snobs or knife purists are gonna have a go at me for this. This was a gift, and this is what I call my beta knife. Smith & Wesson serrated drop point tactical knife. I must admit that I do like the way they've embossed their really cool logo in the rubber handle grip here. There's nothing really amazing about this knife. It's just it's a cheapo, it's a beta. I use this to do my unboxings. If you've seen unboxing videos, you would undoubtedly seen this knife. It's pretty banged up, but I must admit I've dropped it. Oh god, I've had this for a few years now, and even though it is ironically for such an iconic American brand, it is actually made in China. And it's just a mass-produced, you know, it's a little bit bent out of shape in places, and it's really, actually, it's taken a hell of a beating. So I must admit, it's still hasn't fallen apart, and you know, for a very cheap knife, this is my beta knife, it does the job. And the reference number is CKTACCBSD, and you can get this also on Amazon. It's fine, you know, it's fine, it's nothing amazing. So again, it serves its purpose, just cheap, you know. If I don't want to muck up my nicer knives, this is always on standby. Then moving on again, something completely different. This is a letter opener, and you would have seen this in my gentleman's desk video when I did my desk tour. This I bought on eBay. This is from about turn of the century, and it has a real mother of pearl inlaid handle, and it's absolutely beautifully done. Considering it's from the turn of the century, it's done very, very well. It's in really good condition. No major, a few little nicks and scratches on the mother of pearl, but it's in really good nick. I picked this up for $10, and it's got a lovely little blade in the handle. And if you could just see if this will ever focus, it's actually signed Imperial with a little crown, and Providence, Rhode Island. So this was made in Rhode Island at the turn of the century. Now it is in pretty banged up condition, but for $10, my wife wanted a letter opener, something a bit elegant to have, to, you know, that she can open her mail with, and she found this on eBay for $10, and I put a bid in, and no one else bid, so I won it for $10, and I think it's an absolute bargain. It's an actual real antique, made in America, just elegant thing to have on your desk. So yeah, $10, fantastic. Not really the knife you'd expect in my collection, but it has its purpose. It's a very effective, well made, solid, absolutely solidly made. Bit of understated class, I think. So I absolutely adore this. So really, you know, massive thank you to the wife for spotting that one. So again, you know, serves its purpose. Moving on, another Leathermans. This is my favourite of the Skeletools. It is a bit heavy for everyday carry. I do have a little satchel, and I have reviewed this as well. It's got so many features, like little pop out screwdriver heads for the replacement here. There's a little button here, and it just clicks back in there. You know, so it's a pretty standard multi-tool. I have used this quite a bit. It's very well made, well designed. I just love this skeletonized look. Quite a nice blade, just over 2 inches, partly serrated, little drop point here, little frame lock again, works very, very nicely. A little bit, you know, using this as a knife is a little bit kind of, you know, clumsy because you got all of this, but it does the job absolutely fine. You can get a non-serrated version, but I do like serrated, partly serrated blades. It's just I find them more useful, that's all. It's purely preference, but again, fantastic bottle opener here. Lots of great little functions, a little clip. This is a great all-round multi-tool from Leathermans. It's a Skeletool. Totally recommend it. Again, affordable, made in America, very solid, robust, just a really nice piece. It's not exactly a traditional knife, but so there we go. And lastly, last but not least, this is my absolute favorite knife of all time. This is the Kershaw Black Leek, and the reference number is 1660 CKTSTX. This is famously designed by Ken Onion, and one of the most ingenious kind of spring mechanisms for bringing out the blade. This is the safe speed, and as you can see, really quick and efficient. Signed, if this thing will ever focus, it's signed Ken Onion design, patented. Kershaw, of course, is a great American brand. Just a fantastic knife. So many amazing things, lovable things about this knife. A few downsides, but we'll get into it. We'll get into the downsides in just a moment. So it has a 3-inch blade. You can get the serrated version like this, partly serrated version like this, or the non-serrated. It's about 3 ounces, so very nice and light, and it's just the perfect size for an everyday carry. Absolutely perfect for me. Really, you know, fits in the hand nicely. It's a really great size because it's not too offensive that you're going to get into trouble, and at the same time it's just really, you know, useful size. It's compact, fits in the pocket beautifully, quite slender. Has this fantastic steel that's covered in DLC coating. It's a Sandvik 14C28N steel. It has this beautiful kind of matted, satinized finish. A really nice clip that you can actually put in 2 holes here, so you can have it reversed if you want it in the other pocket. At the bottom you'll see this little safety catch that just locks, and then you can't then it won't flip out in your pocket. I don't usually use this, but it's a nice little addition to have. So again, you have a frame lock that is actually, if you look at the frame lock, it's actually built into the case. Really neat, fantastic design. The frame lock is just so beautifully done. You hardly even notice it. It's just there. I really like this knife. I think it's very affordable. It's tastefully, the design is tastefully done. It's extremely ergonomical in the hand. The speed safe system is ingenious. You know, you're getting something from one of the most prolific, well-known, well-respected American knife designers, and I think, you know, for under $50, it's an absolute bargain. You're getting something of such high premium quality. I mean, just it just feels so solid now, and this really has taken a beating, I must admit. It's been my everyday carry. I usually either these two together, so I got all the functions of this little thing on my keys, and you know, this just makes for an great everyday knife. Now there are drawbacks. The tip of the blade is extremely thin, and you know, if you compare it, for example, to something a little heavy, this will take a hell of a lot to snap it off, but this, you know, I do fear this might actually snap off. So it's not gonna be able to handle the heavy, you know, camping stuff that, for example, something like this would or this, or even the larger Opinels would handle. It's more kind of for an urban, you know, everyday kind of situation. So that's the only drawback, but that's fine because this is what I bought it for. And like I've been saying all along, each knife has its purpose. Oh, and of course this is made in Oregon, I believe. This Kershaw's, you know, says USA. So I always try and support, you know, homegrown manufacturing whenever I can. I really admire this brand, and again, like Leathermans, it's one of these kind of great American made products that I think needs more recognition. It needs more, you know. Definitely think paying extra for something like this. I mean, it really, at the end of the day, this is probably going to last a lifetime, and it's not really that expensive. So, you know, $40-50 bargain, and you can even pick these up in I believe in Walmarts and places like that. So anyway, guys, this has been my little my American wing of the knife collection. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think. Maybe you guys can help me. I would like something the same kind of scale as this. This is about 4 inches long. Something kind of discreet that I can carry. So if you guys have any recommendations as well, because I am not a knife expert in the least. It's just something that it's a tradition that has kind of been handed down, I guess. But if you guys can recommend any knives similar scale and quality to this, please let me know. Anyway guys, let me know what you think. What's your favorite knife? Mine is definitely the Kershaw black Leek here. It's just pure class, absolute pure class. I just love this beautiful slope here on the blade. It's just stunning. Just screams quality when you just feel it. It's just a pleasure to hold, pleasure to use. Gorgeous knife. Anyway, okay guys, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and like this video if you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you next time. Ciao.